Hello to all my planner people, mamas, and entrepreneurs. My name is Sydney, and this is the Planningmompreneur podcast. This is where I'll talk about all things planning related, mom life, and small business life. Most importantly, how I juggle it all. Hey guys, I am back with another episode. This week's episode is going to be called Episode 3. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Episode 3, which will be time management and kind of like the things I use to personally stay organized and the planners that I've tried, what I'm still kind of doing. Spoiler alert, I have not found Planner Peace. I'm just going to put that out there. I really, truly do not think it exists. So I'm just going to get right into it. Sorry, I left the baby monitor on a bit loud, so sorry if you could hear that in the beginning. I won't know until I go over this, but oh well. So, how I manage my time as a wife, a mom, and small business owner. I have only 2 notes for this week's episode. I was supposed to make notes, days ago, and this episode is going up late. I was actually just going to be like, oh well, I didn't have time to do it this week. I'm going to do it next week. But you know what? I'm finding the time. I don't know when it will go up, but it is Friday at 11:48 a.m. right now. I just had lunch, put my daughter down for a nap. And usually I put these up at like 7 a.m. So you can see I'm not even done them yet. Oh, I'm like feeling really out of breath. Before I get into this episode, I'll kind of vent a little bit. If I'm a bit on edge and scatterbrained, truly it's because I've had a really, really rough week. I've had a rough last few weeks at least, but this last week has been something else, I will tell you. So I'm just dealing with a lot of different things right now in various different aspects of my life. So bear with me. I'm trying my best, and if my words don't really make sense, I apologize in advance. I'm really thankful you guys are even here listening to me. So yeah, how do I manage my time? I don't. Just kidding. I do try to manage my time. So planners. Planners are a tool that I try to use daily to manage my time. I've tried time blocking before, and it didn't work for me. Because I'm the kind of person, really, other than a to-do list, that if I'm going to do like fun planning, I do it after the day's already done. So I can time block, but that's if like I'm memory planning. So that's not really useful. And because I'm self-employed and I work around everybody else, I find time blocking not actually that beneficial to me. I have tried it, so don't knock things until you try it, of course. I might go back to something similar next year. I might give it another shot because things will look a little bit different. Like my daughter will be going to preschool next year. My son's, in kindergarten, and will be continuing that and then going into grade 1. So part of next year will look a lot different for me, and I'm going to see how I can manage my time better. But for now, it's a chaotic mess, and that's just because I have one child still at home every day. My other child's only at school for so much time, so really it's not even that much time. I am just needing to breathe. I forget to breathe. That is a problem I have. Whew. Okay, so planners. Right now I'm using my notebook, which is a B6 freely noted. I love a good grid notebook. I can just jot down whatever I need, whatever comes to mind, brain dump. I am basically almost done this notebook though, so I'm going to be moving into an EP3 just because I want to switch it up a little bit. As for planners this year that I've tried, I've been in a Hobo Weeks, I've been in a Hobo Cousin. If you don't know Hobo, I mean Hobonichi. They're Japanese planners if you want to look them up. So I've tried those. I have a personal ring sitting right in front of me that I set up, never touched. I have tried a Sterling ink. What else have I tried? A Wonderland. I've had a lot. And I do really love the Wonderland planners. I really, really do. This year I did not like them because there's not enough pages, but next year they have ones with a day per page, or a page per day of the year. I I just love the trackers in the front of those. I think they're just so great. You can stay super organized. So I have a couple in my shelf behind me that I've already pre-ordered. So anyways, next year I'm going to give those another shot. But really, my in and out this year I can't talk. My in and outs this year have been the Hobonichi Cousin and the Hobonichi Weeks, and then just like a notebook. I've also tried the Pocket Moleskin Daily and the Weekly. Too small. That's all. Like, the Pocket Daily is so cute, but it's too small for me. I got really drawn into the hype of it this year, and just for my personal, the things I need to write down every day, it's way too small. So there's that. And what's really been working is literally just a blank canvas for me to write down whatever comes to mind. My daily to-dos, I just skip to the next page if I need another page. It's undated. It's perfect. But I am missing that aspect, which is why I feel unorganized. So this podcast episode is kind of silly because right now I really truly do not feel like I'm managing time well and that I'm organized. But this might actually help some people because I am always focusing on bettering myself. At least I think I do a pretty good job at always trying to. And then I've been looking into things to maybe help me manage my time better as well as stay more organized. I just keep a lot of stuff in my head, and then I find I'm not sleeping at night. I'm thinking about the stuff I have to do every minute of every day, and I'm basically drained. I'm mentally drained. So I actually ordered, and I think it's coming today, a pre-loved A5 ring agenda. She included some inserts, so I'm really, really excited because I hate printing inserts. And then I also ordered some inserts from Rosie Papeterie. I probably butchered that name, but she's a Canadian shop. Love her shop. So I ordered some inserts. They're actually on their way. They should be here next week. And that was my elbow. I keep banging into my desk. And I'm really excited to set it up. And my plan for that is to be my brain. So my monthly calendar, to actually like make plans for the shop, to stick to them, to be accountable. Also to keep track of finances because right now they're like in my head. It'd be really nice to write some of that stuff down as well as stuff for my child's school. Just like anything that you would like to look back to or you may need to refer to more than once a week without flipping through a bunch of random pages. That's what I'm going to use the A5 for, and I'm really, really excited. Even things like project planning, like something that may not get done, like right that day or this week. Like I would have loved to have that when I was planning my advent calendar out because it took, like I was working on it here and there, right? I didn't just sit down and finish it all in one go. So it would have been nice to actually have somewhere where I physically ticked off things, and I made the list in my notebook a few times and I lost them. I tried to tab it, the tabs fall off. So it didn't help me. It didn't help me at all. And guys, I've tried digital planning. Sorry if you hear my mouse real quick. I'm just wanting to see if I can, yes, it's called Notion. So I tried using Notion for a while, like a month. It was nice to have anything on, like everything in one spot on my computer that I could also see on my phone. I'm not a digital planner though. I hate it. And I'll tell you why. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. I'm very much a visual person. Even to read a book, I need it physically in my hands, to touch, to feel, to be present. So it's kind of like that with planning and making lists. I need it in physical form. That's just for me. I know digital planning works for a lot of people and it helps people keep organized, but not me. So I tried at least, right? So I tried that. Oh, I'm getting thirsty now, but I'm trying to just like finish my thought. So I tried that, and really, I don't know, there's a lot of cute stuff that I've tried, like the pocket size, the passport size, that I do it because it's cute, but it's not functional for me. My ideal planner stack is 2 planners, one being, not even planners, but 2 books. One being somewhere where it will house all the important information, all the forward planning, anything I need for the business. and then another book that will kind of cohabitate as a daily brain dump, a journal, whatever I need it to be, it will be, because that really allows me the freedom and flexibility to also write stuff down. Maybe if it doesn't belong yet in a spot in, say, that ringed planner, I then have it at least written down, and then I can decide how I want to incorporate that into something like my ringed planner, if it's important, if I need to refer back to it one day, something like that. So I definitely need 2. Anything more than 2, I find in my very, very expansive experience that it just doesn't work. Now, next year, I might as well just talk about planner plans as well in this podcast, because it's so random, but I kind of really needed this. I needed a random chat just to hear myself say these things is helping me create ideas for next year. I don't know. It's really weird, but so what was I even going to see? I forgot now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So next year I am planning to use a A5 Hobonichi, like 5-year journal. And this has a layout where on the left side there's there's 5 years, so it's kind of like a horizontal layout, but it'll say 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, for example. And there'll be like a smaller column for each year there on the left side, and then the right side is just an empty grid page. And I'm using this for things I want to keep track of for the kids, any like nice memories, and then I can really have one spot to put like little memorabilia or pictures in there as well on that right side if I have it for the day. If I don't, I don't. But I was just thinking, how neat would that be? I at least have one stagnant spot for something like more positive, like stuff with my kids. Something that they can actually look back at one day. Not my crazy journal brain dump thing that might not always be positive and has more of a personal approach to it. So I really want to separate that, which I'm happy I'm going to do next year. And yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with a ringed planner. I hope so. It's coming today. We will see. Never say never. I might change my mind, but I'm hoping I'll stick to something like that. And then a B6 or an A5 of sorts, like a brain dump, whatever I need it to be type thing. So, oh my goodness, I'm getting acid reflux. I'm talking too much. Okay, so that was my little tangent on next year. I would love to know, I don't know, if I post this up on YouTube, comment down below what your plans are for next year, because I love getting ideas that way. Or if you just want to have a planner chat, I'm always available at Planner Monkey Co. on Instagram. I might not reply right away because I am a busy bee, but you know, I will eventually reply. So there's that space you can hit me up to talk. So back to time management. As a mom, so I know I talked about just like how I manage the time, which I don't very good right now. So as a mom, it's hard because of my personal dynamic being, say, what my day-to-day looks like. So I woke up at 5 a.m. I did some work stuff on my laptop on the couch, drank a coffee. My daughter woke up at 6, and then I had to wake my son up at 6:45 to get ready for school. And then, I do the breakfast. I walk them to school or walk him to school with my daughter in the stroller. We get home and it's like 8:35, and then we play for a bit until about 11:30 when I had a quick lunch and then started this podcast, right? So if she does nap, I have like a good hour and a half of time to start doing little things, but I have to choose between that or my housework, exercising, whatever. That is the only time that I have that's like flex time, I guess. So there's that, and I do manage it. It kind of depends what's going on. So like for work this week, it has been hectic. I've been behind just because of technology. I don't know if I mentioned this. I had to buy a new computer, so I'm waiting for that to come. Mine hasn't been letting me save files. So this is the time that I'm using to kind of try and catch up or do something to make me feel at least productive. So I've been flexible with this time. And then, I'll go pick up my son. I wait for my husband to get home. It'll be 4 p.m. when I can get in this office again. And that's just when he's on day shift. So I usually typically am in the office then from 4 to 8. And then I do some other work stuff on the couch. I always have like laptop stuff or oops bags or sampler packs to pack or emails, things like that, or doodling. But I do have the option, if I need to stay in the office longer. So this week, when he's on day shift, I actually have less office hours because, I'm tired too. I wake up early and I'm tired by 8 o'clock. And I try to go to bed by latest 11, but it is what it is. Some days, when he's on afternoon shift, I typically work more. We say get up at 5. I'm in here until noon. So that's a bigger chunk of hours. And then after the kids go to bed, I also work from like 8 to 10:30 on other stuff that I do need to get done. So, yeah. I find I actually do manage my time well, but I'm often feeling the guilt of like, oh, I should be doing dishes right now instead of recording this podcast, or I should be exercising because I do need to, or I could be cleaning the floor, or I could have, sat outside and got some fresh air, anything. There's so many things. Clean the bathroom. There's just so many things. So I often feel the guilt, or even when I am in the office, but my kids know I'm working, but they can see me and they go, oh, mommy, come here. I do get the guilt. My husband's usually great at keeping them busy and entertained, and he takes them outside to play a lot, so that helps, but it's hard. I don't know if it's just a mom thing or what, but I have the mom guilt every day. Yesterday, actually, they were just playing outside in the leaves while my husband was leaf blowing the whole front yard. And I kind of looked out the window and I was so sad. I'm like, I want to go jump in the leaves with them. But, this is the only time I will have to prep for the sale that happened today. So yeah, I kind of had to choose then. And I have a really, really hard time with that mentally. So, I don't know. I would just say verdict, I'm not good with time management, really. I pretend to be because I kind of can delegate my time for the day to what exactly it's for. But once I get to that thing, like work, I'm then back and forth on what I should be getting done for work. So is it cutting? Is it packing? Is it emails? Is it designing? Is it... Oh gosh, there's a bunch of things. So yeah, I would actually say I'm not that great. And I'm constantly trying to find a planner that works best for me. But I will say my plain notebook has been going strong, this B6, since May. It's now October. I think that was the most successful thing of this year, is using my plain brain notebook. I call it my brain because that's where my brain went. It's in this notebook. So yeah, I think I should just end this horrible chatty video podcast. If you're watching the video, I don't know if I'll post it, but if you're listening, this horrible chatty podcast. I really needed this though, and then next week there'll be something more guided and I'll have more notes. But this topic was kind of just, I'm not good at this topic, and it was asked for by one of my listeners, and also on Instagram. Before I even started this podcast, I took notes of all the ideas people have for me. So I'm kind of just running with this big list I have of things to cover. And I don't know, that's just me. So I hope you enjoyed it regardless, and I hope to be back next week. I'm really hoping things get a little bit more settled for me. I'm not sure. Oh, my computer shut off for a minute. I got scared this stopped. But anyways, I will chat with you next week. Bye.